Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. As always, I'm Kobe. Mike's here. We are back from our little hiatus, our Super Bowl recovery. Some things have gone down, and we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, man. We don't know what to do with ourselves without football, man. 2 weeks without football, so we had to take a little break as well. But we are back with some updates. We had an AllStar game in the NBA a little while ago, and then we have the NFL Combine that's starting up. So definitely a lot to look forward to. And first, we can get into reviewing this past Super Bowl. So I know it was a defensive game on the side of the Seahawks, and the Patriots really couldn't do anything against them. But which do you prefer, defensive or an offensive Super Bowl?
Well, going into the Super Bowl, I would have said I want to see these hard hitting defense just lock down these offenses. But now after having this Super Bowl, I mean, I need to see like 48 to 45, game, because I don't know, like Seattle's defense is incredible. They do like the pass rush, rushing forward, putting pressure on May. That was a big part of it, but oh my gosh, Seattle won the game and they didn't even have offense. Like it was, I don't know, just this whole end of this season. I feel like the regular season delivered. We were getting these great games, and now you get to it, the mecca of football, the big, and I don't know, it did not deliver. The commercials for me anyway, the commercials used to be a big part of the Super Bowl, and that seemed like it was lacking. And honestly, the halftime show, it might have been the best vibes of the whole night, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so I'm going to say offensive because this game did not deliver for me at all.
Yeah, the first half of the Super Bowl was brutal to kind of sit through and watch. Both teams couldn't really do anything offensively. Seahawks were just kicking field goals, but it kind of felt like whoever had the ball last was going to win that game. But it is kind of tough sitting through those games where no one is scoring or moving the ball. And then, like you said, when you have a Super Bowl that's filled with commercials that are just don't catch your attention. Like you said, there used to be a lot of funny commercials back in the day where you can just remember and talk about later on. But this type of game, this defensive game, was definitely a letdown. And yeah, I think Green Day to start the game off, and then the halftime show definitely was the highlight of the Super Bowl for sure.
That's a problem for the NFL if what everyone's talking about, the Super Bowl, has nothing to do with the actual football being played. And it's not like, the NFL did anything like, hey, make sure you go out there and don't score points. But yeah, this game just did not do it for me.
Yeah. Next, man, getting into this All-Star weekend, I really had to force myself to tune into the All-Star weekend because I already felt like it was going to be a letdown, and it did not disappoint. And it started with the All-Star weekend. I'm kind of always looking forward to the celebrity game because it's kind of funny where you could kind of see celebrities playing a game. But when it got to Saturday and I'm watching this 3-point contest and watching Dame come out there and shoot threes and actually win the damn thing, and he's not going to play in a game this season, it was just like, what are we doing? Like, does the NBA feel that desperate to put in Lillard to, bring in views for the 3-point contest? Because it's no way that he should have participated and then, won the contest.
There's a big thing going on in the NBA right now with like anti-tanking rules and everything. you have Dame ruled out for the season, that he just walks out onto the court looking like he's completely healthy, just knocking down these jump shots, and like he's supposed to try to convince us, like, yeah, I can't go this season. But yeah, the 3-point contest, I want to see the best 3-point shooter. Like, you didn't have the big names coming out, and we talked about it before. I was like, I've always liked the slam dunk contest. I like seeing the slam dunk contest hasn't had like its big name stars since like Vince Carter and those guys, but you did have, the Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine thing. That was a great battle. Mm-hmm. Now, Lordy, this slam dunk contest, man, you got dudes cracking the back of their head on the ground. You got dudes that are like 6'10" doing little finger rolls. Like, anybody that can dunk, I can't do it. But anybody that can dunk could do like what Jackson Hayes was doing.
Yeah,
there was no appeal to All-Star Weekend, and the format was garbage, absolute garbage.
Yeah, man. They gave us a nasty 3-point contest where usually, like you said, back in the day, it used to be where the top players with the best 3-point percentage and the elite, 3-point shooters were in the contest. Now, I mean, you're putting guys in that didn't even play a game, didn't even shoot a 3 this season. You're going to put him in, and then he wins. I mean, that's just embarrassing for the league to me. I mean, you put a player in that shouldn't even be in there, and then he wins. And yeah, this dunk contest, we spoke about it on another stream that we were on, but man, this was nasty, man. Johnson, it came down to him and another player at the end, and Johnson wasn't even going to win this thing. If the other guy would have just made a dunk, then it would have been a different winner, and he couldn't even dunk the ball. So this was definitely a letdown. And like we said with the 3-point contest, usually this is filled with stars, but the fact that you don't have the best of the best playing in these different contests is why the views have gone down, the interest has gone down, and why they probably should try to pivot off of whatever they're doing with this All-Star Weekend. They need to switch it up.
Yeah, and they had that skills competition that I think it was last year, like Wemby and Chris Paul. They got disqualified because they didn't even like do the course. They just went for like, I don't know, like like between this and then whatever the hell the NFL Pro Bowl was this year, just get rid of it. I know they won't because they probably make money on it somehow, but it's not entertaining. You want to revive like NBA All-Star Weekend, East versus West. Let them wear their own jerseys like they did back in like the 90s, and like actually play the game. Like let them go out there, have a little bit of fun, but at the end of the day, these are however many 20 best players in the league. I want to see them play against each other.
And I don't see what's so complicated with that. I mean, it's easy. East versus West. Put your regular jerseys on, like back in the day, and let the East go against the West, and let the best conference win. But when you have the Stars versus Stripes and USA versus the World, and how do you even mix those up how do you even create those teams? Like, it doesn't even make sense. And I think that's why the actual All-Star game is going down, is because they're making it too complicated. They're making an easy thing more complicated and difficult to actually watch. So yeah, uniforms need to go back to the regular team uniforms, make it East-West, and probably do like how they do with the in-season tournaments, like make it some incentive, like financially. It seems like the players are only doing it for money anyway, so just probably give them a little bit more money to make it more competitive, and go back to the East versus West. All righty. Some breaking news that we had not too long ago. Chris Paul making his formal announcement of his retirement after 21 seasons. He never had a chance to win a ring, but he'll still go down as one of the all-time great point guards in the league. I don't like how he kind of went out. You know, he had some issues with the Clippers, and then he got traded to the Raptors and then let go. But still a hell of a career for Chris Paul, and but I still don't like the way he went out. I wish he would have had like a full season to kind of have his farewell tour.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. One of the greatest point guards of all time. You needed to see him in a full season. Like, it would have to be like on a contender or something would be fine. But just seeing him out there playing, I don't know, maybe 70, 75 games, something like that, just going out there racking up assists, maybe throwing a 20, 25 point game every once in a while. Because I think he was always going to be kind of halted by the trade that never was. I don't know. That's actually been quite a bit though. when the Lakers acquired him, and then the league rejected it, but then he did end up with the Clippers when like he had Lob City buzzing.
Lob City
with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. That was fun basketball. Like that seems like it was 40 years ago. Like, we are so far away from that now. And I'll be honest, I don't watch a whole lot of NBA anymore. I don't like all this load management and I try to place a couple bets every once in a while. I see who's playing. I feel like half the big names are out every single game, and it's just the Steph Curry effect. Just shoot 43s a game. I want to see some Zach Randolphs. I want to see these bigs actually banging. Well, to quote Charles Barkley, banging on the block, but that's a pause. But
man.
The NBA's just been losing me over the years, but Chris Paul definitely deserved to have his own little farewell tour, but a hell of a career for him.
Yep. All right, some news that we probably expected following this gruesome injury that he had this past season. But Tyreek Hill was released, 8-time Pro Bowler. He was released by the Dolphins after 4 seasons. Really no surprise. I mean, he has behavior issues that always seem to spring up. And then when his leg was like a zigzag on the field during that game, I think it was against the Jets, but that was a gruesome injury that's going to take a while to recover from. And they're trying to kind of turn the page on that team with a new GM and new coach. So they probably want a new vision in that locker room. So really no surprise that they let him go, but some news nonetheless.
Yeah, obviously, to say he's going to come back 100% is probably a long shot. That's just not going to happen. But that being said, he was such an explosive player when he was 100% healthy. Say he comes back at 80, 85%. Is he still more explosive than most of the league?
I wouldn't mind putting him on the Commanders in the slot. Hey.
And that's what I was going to get to. He might not be that dude you put out wide and just let him streak down the field and get 3 steps on a corner or a safety or something. And he's he's a little bit older now too, but I think he'll still have the quickness for those inside routes. A guy you can line up on the inside as long as he's able to make his cuts to get open. I still think he could contribute, and I don't want to put teams out there, but get him back in the Andy Reid offense.
Hey, I think that he will benefit from a team that already has some wide receivers
Yeah,
established. Like if you are like the Bengals, like if you already have a 1 and 2 and you just need somebody to take the top off the defense, you could just send him on go routes just to clear
yeah.
out the way for your other receivers. So um I agree that he can I think a team that's already maybe a playoff team, maybe like the Rams, Seahawks,
Yeah.
uh I think he can definitely help a team.
His wide receiver one status left with that ACL.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, he'll contribute somewhere as long as he keeps, out. He's got to keep his mouth shut sometimes, kind of
Mhm.
just stay low
Keep his hands to
profile.
himself.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right. Also, Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, is unlikely to be franchise tagged by the Seahawks. Are you surprised by this? Do you think they'll still get a deal done?
I'm not. I'm not like that surprised. Um, I know they really liked Zach Charbonnet, so like when you bring him in and you start seeing his usage over these last couple seasons, it kind of seems like they were priming for a Walker to leave. But I mean, Kenneth Walker is a fantastic running back.
Mhm.
Like the way, like some of his big runs to the Super Bowl, the way he made those cuts, like take it all the way out to the outside and then make his move, like he's gonna be, asking for some money. But if the Seahawks like what they have there, with Charbonnet, they don't feel like they have to sign him, then they're not going to get a deal done.
Mhm.
But he's definitely going to contribute somewhere else.
Yeah. I think that the Seahawks will eventually. I know teams don't like paying running backs, but I think they'll try to find a way to get this deal done, and it probably won't be by franchise tag. They probably try to work out a deal for him, but um, it's kind of hard to let go of the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
Somebody that you can rely on. When it gets when you get into the playoffs, you can just hand the ball off to him and he can win you a game. So I think they'll find a way to get this done. And they'll still have Charbonnet and have that dual running back situation there. Um, NFLPA report cards. This one kind of pissed me off, man. Um, w- because it actually the NFL the player report cards is where the players can give their grades on their team unanimously, and those grades will be given to the public to be aware of. And I think that it was helping my Commanders because when we got a new ownership, all of our players gave us F's on like every category, like food, the weight room,
facility.
cleanliness,
Yeah,
everything was an F. Like, they just, trashed our whole organization. And since we had a new owner, and Josh Harris, he made it a point. He literally said, "I'm not a F owner. I see what we need to fix, and we're going to fix it." And then the next year, you saw almost all B's, C's, a couple A's. Then the next year, more A's. No F's. So it's like I think if you make it a point to put it out there and say, "Hey, this is how effed up your team is,"
yeah,
then you can put some pressure on the owners to actually fix it. But now, they're going back to, not making those grades public, which I think is only going to hurt the league because,
yeah.
they're not going to fix anything.
It's like uh, one thing will always be common when there's how do I say this? Anytime there's a bunch of rich guys involved in something, 99% of them don't want to hear the negative feedback or don't care about the negative feedback. I mean,
Mhm.
you just talked about all the reasons why your guy was like, "Oh no, we're not doing this. We're improving." Like a lot of
Mhm.
these guys, they own a team or whatever, just to own the team. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm the owner of. Oh yeah, but it says like your facility stinks, your food's terrible, your training room. Yeah, but I own the team. Like,
Right.
and so I kind of imagine that the call that these won't be made public anymore is coming from these guys. Like,
Yeah.
like no, I'm just I don't want to do anything. I don't need to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's losing culture. Like losing culture. Like building a team is one thing, but having everything around them to help them succeed, like you need to do all the steps. You need to be criticized for, the players get criticized every single day. They're out there not running crisp routes, missing blocks, dropping passes. They're hearing about it instantly. Everybody needs to be held to the same accountability for, I think, things to work. So make them public. But don't make them anonymous either. Say, hey, I am Miles Garrett. I think this place is bullshit. Like, you see that's coming from Miles, you're like, oh, wait, like, we can't, like, but yeah.
I agree.
Not good.
And to say that it goes against the NFL PA's like the player agreement, that's just BS. So hopefully it's only temporary, and in the next agreement they can add this in where they will release the results of these report cards. Because I mean, we get an F on our locker room. 2 years later, brand new locker room. It's like you can actually, fix some things that you know that are effed up. So hopefully they can revisit that and actually release those grades and hold the teams accountable for what they're doing. All right, Cowboys. I hate talking about them, but they did have a deal this week. Javonte Williams reached a 3-year, $24 million deal. $16 million of that was guaranteed with the Cowboys, and he really earned this contract. This year, he really was a vital player on that offense. I know when we think of the Cowboys offense, we think of that passing game. But he really had a great season last year and was rewarded with a contract.
Yeah, and I'm looking right here. He's 25 years old. So I think that's still a pretty good age to get a deal done. If he honors all 3 years here, he'll be 28, and that's when I think teams are a little bit hesitant to re-sign these guys, because 30 in running back years in the to these teams is like 50 years old. Like obviously there's exceptions, but yeah, he was a big part of that offense. And I wouldn't say that's really an overpay. Like he wasn't, he's not getting like superstar money. I mean, the 16 million guaranteed is a pretty big deal there, but that's just a good signing. The Cowboys are, they got to worry about Pickens yet, but that's a good start.
Yeah, they're probably going to throw that franchise tag on Pickens. They don't like to pay their players quickly over there in Dallas. Hey man, this was crazy. So I saw this interview with Randy Orton. Said that if there was any celebrity or player or person that he would want to RKO, it would be Tom Brady for his cute comments about the WWE.
So where this all started, the Impulsive show with Logan Paul was on like Super Bowl, what is it called, like Super Bowl Row or like Media Row or something, where Logan Paul, who is a very famous podcaster, also happens to be a WWE superstar. Tom Brady was nice enough to sit down, do the show, and they're going back and forth. And Logan Paul was talking about how if he was in the NFL today, he could be a successful NFL player. And Tom Brady's like, no, you're not. You don't. He's like, I guess he won state championships in high school. He played a little bit in college, I think. Now, is that NFL? No, it's not. But seeing Logan Paul in a WWE ring, he has athleticism that doesn't come around very often. Okay. And now I'm gonna come at Tom Brady too a little bit. So Tom Brady, if you see this,
we'll tag you in it, Tom.
Yeah, he says no, you can't do it. He's like, yeah, the whole WWE, it's cute, yada yada. Listen, is it fake? No, WWE is scripted. Yes, the punches don't necessarily land. But you watch every suplex, every jump these guys take off the top rope, every bump, fall to the outside. And guess what? They don't have an off season. WWE runs all year round, 3 days a week. They are nonstop traveling. They have no off season. And Tom Brady, again, I'm calling you out. I know you're watching this. Didn't you pretty much get a rule changed for you because you got hit too hard? Like, how cute is that rule? Like, you literally have a window this big. You can hit quarterbacks now because of Tom Brady. So, I mean, these guys put their body on the line all year round. Yes, Tom Brady also probably got his ass handed to him his whole career. I mean, he did it till he was, I don't know, 45 or something. But I don't know. It's easy just to hate on WWE because, like, oh, it's fake. All right, go in there, take some bumps, like jump off the top.
People forget that it's entertainment. Like, it's, yes, it's wrestling, but they're entertaining you. Yeah.
But I don't know. Just, Tom Brady, he's Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Golden Boy. That's a very easy comment for him to make, but
right. And switching it off to some sad news again. Not too long ago, we had another tragedy in the NFL. Rondale Moore, he sadly, how should I say it without getting unalived or himself. So, which is another sad situation in sports. It seems, I know we had the other player during the season on the Cowboys, the DN that did the same thing, but the NFL and a lot of these other leagues probably need to increase the attention and the focus on the mental health things that they have going on to really help these players out, because these players are going through a lot. I know Rondale Moore seemed like he was on a couple different teams dealing with a few injuries that he was probably dealing with mentally, that he probably needed some help with, but didn't know how to get it or how to ask for it. But definitely another sad situation in the league.
I think it was Marquise Hollywood Brown. He tweeted out, it was like, and said, like, he was just, Rondale Moore just reached out to him a couple hours before that. So obviously he was like in some sort of distress, not doing well. And, it's very unfortunate when these things happen. And when they do, you have all these former players that speak out and say, yeah, the NFL does absolutely nothing for these guys. Like, obviously he's still an active player, but there should still be something out there for him. I remember back in early 2000s, late 90s, like the very first big case you heard of this was a Junior Seau. And he actually, unalived himself, but through the chest, so he wouldn't hurt his brain, so it could be studied. So he went through a bunch of trauma. And then I just saw a former player of his. They were, talking to him about it. He said if he had to guess that Junior Seau had over 1,500 concussions in his career. Like, wow. And I don't know if you watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually seeing like all the behind the scenes stuff, like these dudes, like talk about like taking bumps and they wear helmets, obviously, but man, there's just a lot of brain trauma and
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't just sit back there and just like watch these guys just spiral out of control. There needs to be more help out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they need to make it mandatory check-ins with some type of psych therapist or something on a team. But yeah, definitely another sad situation in the league. And then I know we're not going to get into it fully tonight, but the NFL Combine is right around the corner. I know a lot of GMs and coaches are making their different press runs, and so I know we're going to go through those in our next episode. But what are you looking forward to in the Combine? What do you enjoy most, and what are you looking forward to?
What I like watching the most and what I'm looking forward to. What I like watching the most is like the athleticism of like these offensive and defensive linemen now. You have these dudes that are like 6'3", 6'4", 300 pounds, and they are just moving, like doing like 40-yard dash and stuff. So I don't know. That's always fun. That's just the evolution of the game. You didn't have that back in early 2000s or whenever. But what I'm excited about is we have a new coach, all these new coordinators, obviously the same management. I'm excited to get all these guys together and just start working. I want who's ever in charge of everything, give out jobs. I need you to watch this, and I just want to see success happen. I want everybody to start working, everybody to do their job, and I want to go out and win some football games. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. What I enjoy most is watching the speed on the field. It seems like every year or every other year, someone's trying to beat the last 40 times. So just trying to see, who's going to try to beat that last record. And then I also like seeing those big boys kind of show their athleticism, like you said. The DNs and D tackles that are coming out lately, I mean, shoot, they could play almost any position, seem like. So definitely looking forward to those. And then kind of similar to what you said as far as I'm looking forward to like turning a page to a new season. It seems like once we get into this point and we're in the NFL Combine and we're about to get into free agency, it's kind of a new look on the season, new start to a new season, and you can kind of put that last season behind you and kind of look forward to a new season and who your team might pick up in this combine. So yeah, can't wait to really dive into this weekend's combine on our next episode. We can kind of go through what players are, that we think that either the Commanders or the Browns is going to possibly draft, and kind of do a full recap of this weekend. So can't wait for that. And then I know we have free agency that's also starting in 2 weeks. 2 weeks probably from today. I think it's around March 11th that we're going to have free agency start. So definitely a lot of things coming up on the radar that we're going to dive into, and can't wait for those.
There were some Browns rumors today. Apparently, we are in the market for a wide receiver. Well, obviously, we are in the market for a wide receiver one, but I guess we have made some calls to the New Orleans Saints about one Chris Olave, and also to the Arizona Cardinals for one Marvin Harrison Jr. Those are probably two guys with some pretty high asking prices. And I actually saw an argument in the comments. Somebody was like, give the 6th pick for Marvin Harrison Jr. And someone was like, no, you can't do that. And he says, okay, who are you going to take at 6? Are Tyson or Tate going to have like higher potential than Marvin Harrison Jr. and it kind of made me think. I was like, honestly, no, not really. But you can't, because especially if you're going to go like offensive line to say, well, we'll get into that some other time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I feel like if it was Harrison or Tate, I'm going with Tate because Harrison, I mean, he's shown so far that he could be a little questionable.
Yeah, that was one of the arguments too. But we are getting into that time of season where these rumors are starting, and there's nothing. Us talking about the draft, your team's like, all right. It's like a trade has been announced. Like, what are we like? How far back do we go? What is going on? Because there's a lot of rumors of us moving back from 6'2", but then we'd also have like picks. What is it like? Like, oh shoot, I forget. We
It's
would
in
end
the
up
20s, probably, maybe early 20s.
It would be we'd have 3 first-round picks instead of 2. So I mean, I don't know, but we got to get to one of these NFL drafts, man. Maybe next year down in DC, we'll be out there.
Definitely, we're going to be doing this episode live next year at the draft.
There we go.
Alrighty, that is going to do it for today's episode. We thank you for watching. And leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of this NFL Combine. Who do you want your team to possibly draft? So we can discuss it on our next episode. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know the next time we go live or we drop another video. And until next time, peace.
See you guys.